feels to ever have enough time to play at all. You know everybody wants to.
All right, I'm getting ready to start putting the finishing touches on the layout room so I can actually begin doing the things that I want to do in here. I'm completely finished with this. Just cut the bottoms off and got the feet put on just a few minutes ago. I've done all my measuring in here, and this should 100% clear the workbench and any traffic, railroad traffic I have going on top of the workbench. So what I've got left to do is to come up with a hatch cover here, which I've got that about halfway completed right now. But I'm gonna finish all this up, and then I've got about half of my carpet squares purchased. After I get the hatch and the crawl space completed up there, I'm gonna mop and get started laying some carpet in here. Got the hatch complete. Now you can see it's leaning out just a little bit. And I'm gonna have to come up with something to kind of, I'm thinking maybe a door latch, an old time door latch on the inside. That's, you know, you push it in and it should stay. Right now it just kind of leans out a little bit. And I believe what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach a rope to the inside framing that, because the way it's designed, it will lean out this way, come off, and then come straight down. I didn't attempt to put any hinges or anything like that on it, but I think I'll have a rope with some knots on it so that when I'm on my ladder, I can just, you know, lower it down while I'm up there and do what I need to do. But there's that. I've also gotten started on figuring out what I'm gonna do with the carpet. You probably can't see it, but I do have some chalk lines snapped through here. I've got my square up there. It looks reasonably square. Did the best I could considering the overall framing of the room, which I did myself. So, you know, there's definitely some inaccuracies in there, but I think it's gonna work. I'm gonna get started laying some carpet, and we'll see what that looks like here in just a minute. Hey kids, look, there's carpet. I'm a little sore from crawling around, but I've got a lot accomplished. I've got one more box over there in the corner that I haven't broken into yet. I'm gonna finish all of the area from here over, the small room. I don't know, I don't really have a name for it, but everything that's underneath the loft area. I'm gonna get it to where it's completely finished with the carpeting, and that way I can go ahead and build the workbench as soon as I want to. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I'm trying to get everything out of the family room in the house into here. The wife, you know, wants the family room to be a family room, not a train room. So that's kind of my goal for this weekend, to get as much of the stuff in the layout room as possible. All of this stuff here will probably be there for a while, at least until I get the bench work for lower staging completed in here, because some of my storage, probably most of my storage, I believe will be underneath staging. So that's where I'm at now. Once again, I'll come back when I've got more to show you. All right, half the room has officially been carpeted. Don't have any baseboards yet. I'm still not 100% sure that I will even use baseboards, because they're never gonna be seen. And really all they're gonna do at this point is probably hide the incorrect cutting that that occurred, you know, up against the wall because my walls were not 100% straight. But it's not bad the way it is, and it's never going to be seen, so I'm going to have to think about that a little more. But I'm ready now to put a workbench in here. I've got all of this stuff kind of laid out and semi-permanent for probably the next year. I haven't mentioned it, or maybe I have. I'm going to start here and work back towards, sorry for the spin, and work towards the time saver. I do have it in its relative position. I don't know that it's at the height that I want it to be at, but I will build benchwork so that the time saver will fit on that benchwork, and then the feet will probably disappear. Got my computer set up here. If you haven't watched all of my videos, approximately a year ago, I did a bunch of videos on wiring, and there's actually a computer, an Raspberry Pi up underneath the layout that will run everything eventually. Once I get my staging created, that computer will move locations. But you can see JMRI, I've got it pulled up here. Been kind of messing around a little bit with it. For some reason, I'm not getting my Y throttle to work. But you know, that's, you know, a whole nother thing not to get into here. But it's looking pretty good. Fairly happy with it. I've got the backdrop to finish. I've got it up there now just to kind of, you know, see how maybe it will look. Everything that's kind of light blue or white at the moment down towards the bottom, that will be green and vegetation somehow, some way. Hopefully I can maybe do some of that next weekend. I don't know, I haven't decided. I may devote all of next weekend to building a couple of workbenches so I can clean up the rest of my stuff in the house and get it in here. But that's where I'm at right now. All right, I thought I would go ahead and document kind of what's going on in the rest of the building. I'm afraid it's gonna be another couple of 3, maybe even the whole month of February before I'm gonna be able to do much more in the train layout. I've got an in-scale layout in the house that I need to tear down and do something with, you know, scavenge off of it what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. Make some room for some things that are in the house in here, and I need to still build the workbench for the train layout. So I've been concentrating on this workbench, which will eventually go over here, and then you can see back here where all of that stuff was the first spot where I thought I would have my miter saw station. But I think I got to thinking about that, and that's really far away from where my dust collection system is. So instead, I think I'm gonna move it here, and then, you know, where all of my wood is, you know, I can come straight from there onto the miter saw station. I'm thinking that probably will work better, and I'll be closer to my dust collection, which means that all of this stuff here is gonna have to move. Let me spin, make you dizzy and sick, over here somewhere. But I need to get that finished before I can do anything else. So I thought, you know, I'll just go ahead and show everybody what I'm doing. If this is not your cup of tea, just give me another couple, 3 weeks. I'll be back to some model trains. I'm gonna put some shelving here. I need to make this just a little bit stronger for my Craftsman toolbox over there because it's pretty heavy. I've gotten all of my model railroad stuff out of it because it was where I kept all of my trains before, and I cleaned off all of my empty box cars and things like that was on this. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I do have all of the rest of the carpet. I got that today. So I will also be finishing the rest of the carpet in the training room. If I'm lucky, I might get that finished tomorrow. If I get this bench completed today, I'll get the carpet maybe completed tomorrow. And then next week, I will do my best to work on the actual workbench for the train room. But I'll keep you posted. Just stick around a little bit here. Another day has transpired, and I am one step closer to ultimate organization. So I'm nearly completed with the workbench. I've got this bottom shelf that will go down here. I'll probably have to split it in half to get it to go in. I'm undecided on whether or not I'm gonna have another shelf. I probably will. Right now I have this router table. That's kind of what I have slated to go on the bottom of that shelf. And I've got a few other things I'm gonna take a look at before I make that decision. But after I get all of this completed, it will slide over here where that monstrosity is. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. It has to go. I guess I'm gonna move it back into the train layout room for now, because that's what we do here at Otter Creek and Rio Grande, is we move things so that we can move things, so that we can move things again, because everything is currently in its temporary location. But after I get this where I completed to my satisfaction, then I'm gonna reshuffle this whole room. I've got an idea of how everything's gonna be. I've got a computer drawing of it. I'll probably throw that up so you can see what it's supposed to look like before I actually make it happen. It's probably gonna take me the rest of the day today to do that. So I doubt I'm gonna get to laying any carpet in the layout room. That's probably gonna have to happen next weekend. All right, stand by. So here's what I did for kind of the planning of where everything was gonna go in the workshop. This is actually Empire Express Deluxe, which is a model railroad planning, computer-assisted drawing kind of thing. It's a pretty cheap program. I think the full version is like $30, but it works pretty good. And I thought, I just went ahead and created all of the major things in the space that I would need, so I would kind of have an idea of what I was looking at. So I just thought I'd share that, just another way of planning what I was trying to do. There it is. The final workbench for the shop area is complete. Done all of the moving around. There's the miter saw station. Fairly pleased with it. I started with this thing here, and actually that's the second one of those I built. The first one I built was so sketchy I had to start over, and that one's pretty sketchy too, but it did work. I did all of my cutting pretty much for everything I did in here. A carpenter carpenter-wise with that particular thing there. I still have a few things to do here. I'm going to get a track system and create a fence on the back side there. A few more things to do before it's completely finished. But all in all, I'm pleased with the space. I don't have the motorcycle in here yet, but I should be able to fit the motorcycle right up in there, and the car should be able to pull in behind the motorcycle and still have some room to move around besides. All right, well, until next time.